Welcome back to Project Dad Life. My name is Mike. This is a knee brace, very crucial for post and beam construction. I built this pergola in 5 days, totally screwed up and forgot to add these. Let's go back and fix it. And it's almost a third of the cost. So sometimes when I'm building these projects, I do forget stuff, actually a lot of stuff. I totally forgot about it during the whole build and the finalization of the build until a couple days ago. I got these in the mail finally, and it hit me like a brick. I totally forgot to put these knee braces in. Today, I'm gonna set aside this full day to put these knee braces in, do this thing correctly. I'll go over the options on a lot of these fasteners. I don't do this for a living. I do this on my days off, aside from my full-time job. So I love to build, I love to video it, I love the editing, I love to inspire everybody to build as well. I love to inspire people to get out there and do these projects because they are easy once you just take that first step. It's a lot of work, but yeah, it's not that difficult, and I love to show people how easy you can actually do this. So that is where I get the joy out of this channel. If you like that, give a thumbs up, subscribe, and now we're gonna get started with doing these knee braces. And then I'm also gonna do some trim work up here to kind of hide this seam on this ledger board connection and actually finally finish this thing 100% this time. So you guys hang out today and let's see if we can get all this knocked out in a few hours. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'm using 6x6s for this knee brace. I have 2 laying around, so I'm just going to do a little math and make 3 even cuts on one post. I put some 45 cuts on each end and it left me with about 2.5 feet.
Before I get started, I'm gonna take a quick measurement of the distance right here. I'm gonna cut a 2x4 just so I can brace it underneath it and put a little bit of tension on it. I don't think it's sagging right now, but I just wanna kind of get that little tension off of it when I put these braces in.
I'm gonna add a little wedge in between the beams. That way it'll give me a little room to work with when I put the knee braces in.
All our knee braces are cut. We have the one temporarily attached. Now we have some options on our fasteners. So there's really 2 ways you can do this. You have your galvanized carriage bolt and nut. You can drill a hole all the way through and tighten these down with a nut. Or you can do a galvanized heavier lag bolt. Now this is more of a, pre-drill a hole, it has some big threads, and you just bolt it down and screw it in with a heavy washer. Now I'm going to use a combination of both. On the upper part of the knee wall bracing that goes through the beams, I'm going to drill a hole all the way through on top and bottom, and I'm going to use a carriage bolt with the washer and nuts. On the bracing where it touches the actual vertical post, I'm going to pre-drill a hole as well. I'm going to countersink another hole the size of this washer and thread 2 of them in side by side into the post. And like I stated previously, these are so much cheaper if you order them online. I'll put some Amazon links below of where I got all these bolts, but I did compare the prices to Home Depot and it's almost a third of the cost. And when you're talking, 30, 40 of these heavy fasteners like this, especially when you get into the galvanized ones, you're talking several $100s. So keep that in mind when you're planning out these projects. You might want to order these beforehand from Amazon.
I'm going to get a rough location and measurement with our lag bolts on the knee braces. There's no particular way to do this, but you want to make sure when you're done that you have enough threads into the post or it's actually going to hold. Now I'm going to mark the positions for my carriage bolts going through the beams and the knee braces. I chose a vertical double stack, and you can really choose any design. You just want to make sure that you're actually hitting the knee brace behind the beam. There you go, one knee brace is complete. Now we got 5 more to go. I'm also going to add a little bit of construction glue to the surfaces just for a little bit of extra insurance.
So we're on to the second one. For the first hole, I'm actually using the spade bit, and this is the same size or just a touch bigger than the washers we're using. And this will actually countersink our washer hole and give me a center hole to start with. And then I'll follow it with this longer core or spade 1/2 inch bit, just deep enough to where it goes through our knee brace, but not completely into the post, just a little bit, and then the bolt will thread right in.
I'm using 2 different style of drill bits. This pictured is a core drill bit. I also have a spade drill bit. And about halfway through the project, I started really preferring the spade drill bit. It was a lot faster drilling, heated up a lot less, and just a lot easier to use.
The knee braces are going in perfect. We're about halfway done. As you can see, those went in nice and smooth, fit perfectly. Now we're going to pull out our temporary ledger bolts we had right here on our beam to post connection, and we're going to update those. And if you remember from the first video, we used these ledger anchor bolts, and these are just a Torx bit. They hold pretty good, but it's not what I wanted up here permanently. So we're going to step up a size and go to a 1/2 inch carriage bolt with a nut, drill all the way through here, anchor these down, tighten them up, and it should hold much better for the long run. Super excited with how this is coming out. I was a little skeptical at first because I was so in love with this pergola already, but throwing these knee braces in, it really made it look more of like a heavy timbered like pergola structure. So I definitely love how it looks. We got 3 posts done. I got 1 more post back there to do. And then also once I got all the carriage bolts and the lag bolts in there, it really strengthened the whole structure up and like tied it down. So it feels really like bulletproof right now. So super excited how this came out. I got 1 more to go and then we'll be done with the knee bracing and on to trimming this thing out. Good morning, guys. As the laws of nature prevail, as always, this project took way longer than expected, but I finished it up yesterday with all the knee bracing. As you can see, all the knee bracing went in perfect. I did glue those as well with the carriage bolts. That all went great. So the last thing we got to do to 100% finish off this porch is right here. I'm going to put a little trim. I'm going to use a 1x4 and kind of lay it flat up against there. And then there's a few spots I still have to clean up. Right there's some nails. Those are still there from when we built the place. They use those for the 2x4 temporary supports. So I got to pull those nails out, measure out, cut a couple 1x4s, slap them up there, and that will kind of help a little bit if any of the rafters ever want to settle, because I didn't use any rafter hangers. So I just toe nailed them in on the edges on each side, and then we're going to use this 1x4. Kind of help support everything, and then it'll give it a nice, cleaner finish, I think. So that's what we're doing this morning. So now we can say 100% the pergola is done. If you didn't see the full build video on the pergola, I'll put that in the description below. Also, I will update the cost of this total pergola build because the hardware did add a little bit of money to it. But as always, thank you guys for watching. Now it's time to finish up this backyard transformation and get back on the stage 3 of this build series. So you guys make sure you hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next week for another project. Welcome to the lab today.
Are you good? Yeah. All right.
Good job, bud.